Tonight, a local couple react to an MP's motion to hold airlines accountable with regards to accessibility rights. Plus, a Japanese exchange program is looking for extra volunteers, as demand this year is quite high. And a Northern BC artist is beginning a residency at the Omineca Art Center. Let's get to our local news tonight. We begin with Canada's Federal Transport Committee that's approved a motion from Skeena-Bulkley Valley MP Taylor Bachrach to call the CEOs of Air Canada and WestJet, the Federal Minister of Transport, and other government officials to testify to inaccessibility within the air sector. This comes after a flood of stories of persons with disabilities and mobility issues, including a man from right here in Prince George who were subjected to unacceptable treatment. Adam Burles brings us the story.
The CEOs of Air Canada and WestJet are being asked to speak to the Federal Transport Committee after a number of stories involving airlines and their treatment of persons with disabilities and mobility issues. The MP who put forward the motion says there are systemic issues that need to be dealt with.
Canada is supposed to have regulations that ensure equitable treatment for people living with disabilities, and yet we've seen a string of events on board flights over the past couple of months that really suggests that there's something deeply wrong here.
Rodney Hodgins cannot walk due to spastic cerebral palsy and was forced to drag himself off an Air Canada plane in Las Vegas in the summer after being told there were no supports to help him off. He says that the system is broken, full stop.
The whole thing about it is the whole airline, when it comes to people with mobility issues, is broken. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Everywhere.
Bachrach wants the CEOs to explain to the committee how any form of mistreatment is allowed to continue.
When the CEOs of the major airlines show up, I want them to explain to Canadians how something like what's occurred could possibly be allowed to happen. What the gaps in their procedures and policies are that allowed people to be mistreated in such an egregious way.
Rodney says that the initial steps are good, but he wants voices like his to be heard by the committee.
I think it's a good step, but I'd like to see what they do with it and see if there is going to be any change. When they have that meeting, I would like to be sitting there.
Despite some initial echoes of change and words of support, including from the Federal Minister of Transport,
I was horrified to learn how Rodney Hodgins was treated by Air Canada. Like every Canadian, Mr. Hodgins deserves to be treated with dignity and with respect.
Rodney's wife Deanna says she is worried about the next time they will have to get on a plane.
Now we're worried. I mean, I'm worried about travel, for real. He's tougher than I am.
I don't worry about it as much because it is a fact of life for me.
No date has been set yet for when airline CEOs could speak before the committee, but Rodney and Deanna hope that it's soon so that solutions to the systemic problems can be implemented. Adam Burles, CKPG News.
The sports community in Kamloops and at Thompson Rivers University is reeling after one person was killed and two others were injured seriously in a multi-vehicle crash on Wednesday. All three are members of TRU's Wolfpack men's volleyball team. In a statement, TRU President Brett Fairbairn says it is a loss for the TRU community that will be felt for a long time. And as Delana Nisha tells us now, the athletics department is heartbroken.
It's been an unimaginable 24 hours for the TRU Wolfpack teams, coaches, and athletic staff after a major crash claimed the life of one student and seriously injured two others.
These are three, really valuable members of our family and our team whose lives are deeply impacted and those around them.
In the immediate aftermath, TRU's athletics director Curtis Atkinson says the university has met with its sports teams along with Wolfpack coaches and staff.
All of those meetings have had counseling support at them and academic supports through student case managers. And it's really important that our student athletes know that people are here for them. And grieving can look very different. That period of mourning can be very different. And there's no right or wrong way to do it, but there is support here for them.
The Wolfpack sports community is tight-knit, with athletes often supporting one another at games and developing close friendships outside of competition and practice times. Atkinson says messages have also been pouring in from teams across Canada.
It's been really impactful to hear from people within our conference, from the youth sports office, schools back east, that feel the pain, feel the hurt with us, and wanting to reach out to let us know they're with us.
Given the gravity of the situation, the university opted to postpone this weekend's home and away games for all Wolfpack teams.
We didn't think we could move forward this weekend with competition, and really wanted to shift the focus to supporting everyone that is a part of our family.
In the meantime, Kamloops RCMP will continue its investigation into what caused the fatal incident.
There was a lot of people that were talked to at the scene, including the driver of the truck, and police are continuing just to collect information that will help, answer some of those questions as we progress this active investigation that is a priority for the detachment.
Anyone with video or information related to the crash that has not yet been shared with police is asked to contact Kamloops RCMP.
The Prince George RCMP is asking the public to keep an eye out for a missing woman. Catherine Caroline Lynn Cadillo last communicated with her family back on November 27th and has not been heard from since. Catherine was last known to be in Vancouver, where she missed her return flight home to Prince George on November 23rd. She has ties to Vancouver, Prince George, and Terrace. And if you have any information regarding Catherine's whereabouts, please contact local police. A BC NDP MLA is saying that Caribou MLAs Lorne Dorkerson and Coralie Oakes should answer for the BC United Party leader Kevin Falcon's, quote, hypocrisy over the carbon tax. Langford Juan de Fuca MLA Ravi Parmar says that Kevin Falcon supported the carbon tax, but since Conservative Party of BC leader John Rustad is now campaigning against it, Falcon has now gone against it himself.
What we've seen a number of times with the addition of an additional party in the BC legislature, the Conservative Party, is Kevin Falcon and the BC UP, really literally saying anything to get elected. It's certainly disappointing, and I'm disappointed that members of his party, Lorne Dirksen and certainly the MLAs that are part of his team and his caucus will allow him to just be very wishy-washy on the positions that he has.
For nearly 2 decades now, exchange students from Japan have been coming to Prince George to explore diverse educational and cultural opportunities. This year, the host school requires additional volunteer host families, though, causing the 2-decade program to scramble in search of homes. Dave Branco reports.
In 2003, students from College Heights Secondary embarked on an unforgettable field trip of a lifetime. Randy Petrovic was one of the teachers brave enough to lead them across the Pacific to experience a totally different culture.
We learned a lot because we didn't know anything about doing an exchange with a sister school. So it was a huge eye-opener, and we realized we had to do things like the school we went to, or the sister school, is a uniform school. So they were quite shocked when we arrived in street clothes.
As students increasingly embraced the Japanese exchange program, the decision was made to include a class teaching students to read and write in Japanese.
Instead of the kids just signing up and going on this trip, instead they take a look at Japanese culture and language before they go, so they know what to expect. They know a little bit of how to function in Japanese society, and it helps them to fit in better instead of just being a tourist in Japan.
This year's Canada program is very popular, but the problem is demand is greater than supply, as there is a shortage of volunteer host families in Prince George, with the Japanese students scheduled to arrive in March.
But the entire reason behind this program, the bigger goal behind this program, is to show our youth that it's not a question of us and them. It is all us. It is to show our youth that whether you speak different languages or eat different foods or pray at different altars, we are all one community.
Host families are asked to provide a comfortable environment for a Japanese teen for their 11-day stay in Prince George.
Host families don't necessarily need to have kids in the house, and they don't need to be from the College Heights area, but we do need to have transportation to and from the activities. Many of our host families carpool together just to cut down on that a little bit. Host families need to have a criminal record check done for every adult in the home, which is common sense. As well, they need to do a check for anyone who's going to drive the students any place in the home.
Residents interested in opening their doors and hosting a student can contact College Heights Secondary School for additional details. Dave Branco, CKPG News.
For the second year in a row, agencies representing tourism got together to share some trade secrets recently. With tourism on the rise post-pandemic, the goal is to get everyone working on the same page. Cheryl Jan has the story.
It's a match made in heaven. Tourism Prince George, the College of New Caledonia, and tourism operators all got together recently to talk shop.
One of the huge issues right now in the tourism industry is the lack of labor. So, we're able to partner with the College of New Caledonia, their tourism and hotel management diploma program, and get those students in the same room as these tourism businesses, get them talking, hopefully setting up some relationships for helping out both parties there.
The college has more than one tourism-related program, and it is Northern BC's time to shine.
Tourism in Northern BC is becoming increasingly popular. We're a safe destination. We're safe because of the political context right now in the world. We're also safe because of our population density. We have lots of bears, lots of moose, and fewer people. So people are flocking to the north to come see our beautiful tourism that's available in the north.
And tourism in Northern BC alone is a big employer.
Tourism, I think, is a little bit underappreciated typically in Northern BC. People see the RVs, they see these travelers, but they don't really understand what that means. And, pre-COVID, it was, 6,600 jobs in Northern BC in the tourism industry. It definitely dipped in the last couple of years, but we're building back up. And what we're seeing in these tourism revenues is really strong recovery in that.
With COVID creating a bit of a hiatus in the tourism sector, this partnership in its second year is welcome.
And that's what's great about working with places like CNC. So we're not just, highlighting the tourism industry and the opportunities, but we're also getting these skilled employees that are coming in with, a bachelor's degree, and now they're post-diploma in tourism and hotel management. So these are skilled workers that are coming out of this program in CNC, ready to enter the workforce right here in Prince George.
But tourism is changing. It has had to adapt in the post-COVID era.
We are constantly evolving what we know about tourism and hospitality, and that allows us to shape our curriculum.
For the first time, Tourism Prince George has awarded a $1,000 scholarship to a first-year student who exhibits passion for the industry. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
A little news for commuters now. The Simon Fraser Bridge will fully reopen this weekend, according to BC's Ministry of Transportation. They say that upgrades to the structure include a full deck replacement and strengthening of the truss for the southbound bridge. An increase in height clearance will also match the adjacent northbound crossing, which will allow for the passage of taller transport vehicles on the Ferry Avenue underpass. The original bridge was built back in 1963. Moving to the arts now, Omineca Art Center's newest artist in residence is opening their gallery at 6 p.m. tonight, and it features the literal healing powers of art and nature. Tommy Osborne got a first look and spoke with said artist.
Lauren Aldred is December's artist in residence at the Omineca Art Center, and while Aldred is a talented writer, artist, and poet, she is also much more. Currently taking a doctorate on land-based healing and wellness, Aldred says art and nature played a huge role in healing her PTSD from a workplace injury.
The combination of spirituality, art, and nature has been a tremendous healing force for me in my own life. I think it's something important that people need to consider, that where we live and our connection with the land has implications for healing for ourselves, but also for the land and for our communities as well.
Aldred's doctorate and vast experience in art, nature, and healing has also revealed a lot of data showing that it's not just metaphorical healing, it's real.
If we do half an hour of art, that our cortisol, the stress hormones in our body, reduces by half. If you are in nature, that your heart rate slows, your brain wave slows, your blood pressure drops, you exchange electrons with the earth, which reduces your chance of getting cancer. Very, very powerful. So it's not just that nature is pretty, and which it certainly is, and it's not just that it's relaxing to take the time to go into nature, but the land herself is inherently healing.
Knowing how important art and nature is for her, Aldred encourages everyone to give it a try. She hopes her art conveys a sense of profound gratitude and the healing effects of nature, and even if getting involved in nature can be difficult for someone living in a city, there are plenty of ways to still get some nature in your life.
There was an art therapy study done a few years ago where Indigenous students, they found that there was a 15% drop in cortisol for college students by simply having photos of nature in the classroom.
As the artist in residence, Aldred will be available for workshops and scheduled studio times, and her exhibit will be on display for the entire month at the Omineca Art Center. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
The lowest gas price in Prince George is currently sitting at $1.53.9 a litre at Costco. The lowest price in the province right now is in Quesnel at $1.49.9 a litre. Alberta currently has the lowest fuel prices on average in the country at $1.28.7 a litre, while BC has an average price of $1.68.8 a litre.
Good evening, everybody. Well, a bit of a dusting of snow today. We've got some more snow in our forecast as we move through the weekend. It's a very back and forth type weather trend that we're going to be dealing with. And really the next story after the snow will be the warming trend that's coming. And this is going to take over the whole province. So temperatures improving as the week goes on next week. But we'll focus on our weekend first. Saturday snow. But again, it'll be overnight tonight. We've got some flurries. And then beginning before morning, likely before morning, some snow. And then carrying into the first half of tomorrow. So around the noon hour, maybe early afternoon, we should see that snow tapering off for our Saturday and left with, again, a chance of flurries. But a lot of instability. And as I mentioned, the last couple of days, it's just because of a series of different systems. I'll have more details, of course, coming up in the weather forecast later in the show. Today's air quality, though, Prince George, Quesnel, Vanderhoof, all of the readings were good. And Taylor Hansen, we credit for our snapshot tonight. A wonderful picture, beautiful shot from the Fort St. James Airport and a very frosty morning at the airport. I love that. Beautiful picture that is. Thank you very much. Snapshot at ckpg.com to email us, find us on social media. And Eddie, I'll have a look at your forecast for the weekend. And again, it is definitely going to be a bit wintry, but we are going to warm up after that.
Okay, sounds good, Tanya. Looking forward to warming up a little bit. It is getting chilly out there. Now, there was quite an event at the Civic and Conference Center this week with a seniors lunch on Wednesday and yesterday a seniors tea. It's an event that grows every year and it's done for a great cause. Here's a look.
The lineup was daunting. Hundreds of seniors gathered at the Festival of Trees for the annual Seniors Tea.
We're just over 300 for this one, and it has been busy since the time we opened our doors. How great is that? Like, that's wonderful.
Folks like Dolores, George, and Daryl are a trio of the stalwart souls that brave the lineups to participate.
Because it's so beautiful today, and it's a great thing to come and see, and we don't get to see it all the time because we live up out of country here.
And being a senior, there's only limited things to do, so this fills in an event.
We love to come here and see all the stuff and visit, see old friends and people we haven't seen for ages.
You know, they love this event because it's Christmas and because it's something that they can go out and do. It's still affordable. We work really hard with Scotiabank to keep those prices down so that seniors can afford to come to these events. And you know, it's part of the magic of the season, getting together, and there's entertainment and everyone's smiling and laughing. It really doesn't get any better than that. And knowing that all the dollars that we raise by people coming to events like this are going directly to our NICU department to help our littlest patients, our seniors helping our littlest patients. There's a real synergy there that we're really proud of.
All the proceeds from the tea, in fact, everything associated with the Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation's Festival of Trees, is targeted to the neonatal intensive care unit at University Hospital of Northern BC. But that wasn't the focus today.
We've actually done seniors tea for a number of years, but it just seems to grow in popularity. Every year we have more and more seniors attend, and we're just really pleased with it. We've also do the Medicare Seniors Luncheon, which was yesterday. Again, hugely successful. And these are longtime sponsors. You know, Scotiabank has been with us for a number of years. We can't do what we do without the support of our sponsors. They really do allow us to do the work that we do.
But the backbone of this event, the volunteers, is simple.
We've got a ton of volunteers at the back of the house running the Festival of Trees. To be honest, this event doesn't happen without our volunteers, so I just want to really shout out our volunteers and say thank you so much. Can we get a big round of applause for all of them? They're just incredible.
After 5 fun-filled days of activities, the Festival of Trees wraps up Sunday with a Santa breakfast and family day. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
We're back with the holidays in Hollywood here on Entertainment Spotlight, and this week it's a special one. We're celebrating the 20th anniversary of a modern classic Christmas film that many families will know quite well, Elf, starring Will Ferrell, Zooey Deschanel, and the late James Caan.
You look like you came from the North Pole. That's exactly where I came from.
If you haven't seen Elf before, I highly recommend putting it on your holiday movie list this season. Simply put, it's one of the brightest, most heartwarming, funniest Christmas movies ever made. I know that's a bold statement, but it's true. It's the story of Buddy the Elf, an orphaned human raised in the North Pole by elves. And when Buddy finds out he's actually a human and his father is a big shot editor in New York City, Buddy embarks on a journey to find his true family and show them what the true meaning of Christmas is all about.
We can't leave him alone. He's going to destroy the place.
It's a great story, but the real magic in this film comes courtesy of Farrell, who turns in arguably his best performance of his illustrious comedy career. The naive but kind-hearted Buddy hits all the right notes with his constant smile, his love for spreading Christmas cheer, and of course, his affinity for all things sugar.
Another son. You like sugar, huh?
Is there sugar in syrup?
Yes.
Then yes.
He's one of the more lovable characters in any Christmas film you're ever going to see. And deep down, he just wants a family where he can fit in.
Find out who you really are.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Thanks, Mr. Narwhal.
Elf is a perfect holiday film for the entire family to enjoy, and it's available on Amazon Prime Video and Crave.
Wow.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Oh my God! Santa here? I know him. I know him.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix-and-match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
It shouldn't come as a surprise to any hockey fans that follow the Prince George Cougars, but Joshua Ravensbergen has been named WHL Goalie of the Month. The rookie netminder had an impressive numbers in November, which included a 1.1 goals against average, a .947 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. On the season, the recently turned 17-year-old now owns an 8-2 record. He also leads the WHL with a .935 save percentage and is second in the league with a 1.86 goals against. Not to mention the 4 shutouts he already has under his belt, which, guess what, also lead all WHL netminders. He and the Cougars now head south for a 3-game U.S. Division road trip where Ravensbergen is sure to see the net. We mentioned yesterday Spruce Kings D-man Kai Greaves is off to the All-Star game in Penticton, but today it was announced that the BCHL will send other players to the game, and Killian McGregor Bennett needs your help. The league has launched a fan vote to select the remaining 7 players for the rosters of both teams, with each team having 1 skater voted into the game already. There are 7 remaining spots for the fans to decide, and Killian McGregor Bennett, who has 19 points in 21 games and leads the Kings in scoring, is up for one of those spots in the game. If you'd like to help send him there to Penticton, you can go to the Spruce Kings social media pages or the BCHL website. Fans can vote once per day, with the voting ending on December 7th. Let's make Killian an all-star, folks. The TSX is up 217 points to close at 20,453. The Dow Jones is up 295 points to close at 36,246. And Canfor went up 79 cents to close at $16.84.
Good evening again, everyone. We are looking at some snow in our forecast for the weekend. Again, a series of different systems pushing in off the Pacific and impacting most of the province. So the next one is going to bring with it a good chance of snow overnight tonight and then carrying into the early half of tomorrow. More on that in a second. Looking back at the day today, again, mainly clouds and, of course, a dusting of snow here and there. Futurecast shows what's to come. Of course, lots of activity. It looks like a whole lot of things happening. The blue is indicating the snow that we're going to see throughout the province. The green is more so the rain showers. So, of course, most of that will be along the coastal sections with the rain, and then over the mountains, it'll be snow. And for our region, yes, as it pushes through, making way for periods of snow overnight and into tomorrow morning. You can see still the bulk of it over us. And then around the noon hour, it kind of pushes off towards the east. We get a bit of a break in behind that with a chance of flurries, and then we're in for some some more snow with the next system on Sunday. So again, a series of different systems, but will likely be in between for the afternoon tomorrow with some drier weather. -4 Fort St. John, so still a little cooler and wintry up there. +1 for us. Again, it is snow for the most part. Again, chance of flurries through the afternoon. We're showing rain here, but I think it'll be more so snow. 3 degrees Kamloops, the same thing there. They do have some snow in the forecast. And then, of course, down through the south coast, we're looking at more so rain. So lots of instability in and around the region. Quesnel +3 for a high, 2 in Vanderhoof. We've got snow right up through Fort St. James and Mackenzie. And across the country, it's really the west for the most part that's dealing with the wet weather. Then we get a bit of a nicer trend as we move towards Edmonton and then Regina, Winnipeg through the prairies. Lots of bright sky. Further east, though, again, cooling down. Another day, another weekend of cooler and wetter weather through Montreal and Toronto, but still really warm or mild over towards Halifax. 9 degrees for a high on your Saturday with a sun-cloud mix. Showers and then sun for early week. We're saying showers because of where the freezing levels will be. So we're going to start to warm up come Monday. And when I say warming up, we could see highs of around +5 for our daytime. So any precipitation that does fall in the form will likely be in the form of showers or even mixed precipitation as we move into that warmer trend. And you can see that here for Monday in Burns Lake, kind of the mixed precipitation. But until then, cooler weather, of course, -6, looking at snow tonight, 2 to 4 centimeters, a few snow showers tomorrow, and then anticipating a bit of a break here and there throughout the day before the next system comes in. So Sunday, quite unsettled as well. -5 in Mackenzie, clouds, a little bit of snow tonight. Tomorrow and Sunday, snowy for the most part. And then it warms up a little bit. But look at the temperatures on Tuesday and, well, not so much Wednesday, but Tuesday we are seeing partly sunny skies and 5 degrees. So some of it might melt. We'll see. -7 in McBride. Clouds and showers, or snow showers rather, flurries in the mix for the next several days. And of course, accumulations over the next few days. So you will need to get your shovels out. And that's the same for Quesnel as well, until it switches over to showers early next week. 7 degrees on Tuesday for us. It is going to be a snowy one overnight and into the morning tomorrow. We are anticipating a bit of a break through the afternoon hours, and then into Sunday, the next system hitting us with more snow.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
Anthony Correa joins us in studio now to talk a little local hockey. And Anthony, it's a big weekend for both our local teams. You're both on the road. Why don't you tell us what to expect from the Cougars and the Spruce Kings this weekend?
Yeah, big weekend is, it sums it up. Obviously, the Cougars head on the road to the U.S. Division. They got Tri-City tonight, which they haven't seen them since the beginning of the year. And then the game on Saturday, which is probably the most interesting of the three, against the Portland Winterhawks. Jens Brunauer, the Portland goalie, is 1 ahead of Josh Ravensbergen. So top 2 goalies dealing there. And then Spokane on Sunday. So 3 games in 3 nights, which is always a tough task for any hockey team, especially without Cohen Ziemer. Again, we'll see how this loss affects them this weekend against 3 very good opponents, and if Mark Lamb maybe looks into some trade targets after these games, or if it depends on the performance. And now to the Spruce Kings, who are also on the road, and yeah, they also have 2 very tough matchups tonight against the Penticton Vees, a team that is dominating and has dominated the Spruce Kings so far this season. They've only faced once, but Penticton won by a wide margin there. And then another tough task on Saturday against the Vernon Vipers. So hopefully the Spruce Kings can take the momentum. Big comeback win against the Langley Rivermen on Wednesday, going all the way back to Saturday. A big upset win against the Surrey Eagles, 3-2 there. So 2 wins in a row. Hopefully they can use that momentum to hopefully stifle a couple of tough opponents this weekend. And yeah, should be very good for the hockey scene on the road there.
It's going to be an interesting weekend for both teams. But I want to move away from sports for a second here, Anthony.
Okay.
You might know, Anthony and I were part of a fundraising campaign during Movember. We were both growing mustaches for men's health and men's mental health. Caden Fanshawe was also involved in this as well.
Yeah.
Anthony, do you want to let our audience know about our final totals that we raised?
Yeah, absolutely. It was around the 600 mark. I think it was 665 there, and it was a very special, I guess, Movember for all of us. We grew our mustaches, and we thank you for putting up with our mustaches. Obviously, I still got mine here. Eddie shaved his off. I think Caden shaved his off as well. And, hopefully next year we can even surpass that total. And a huge shout out to local businesses as well. The Pepper Tree gave me a $40 donation. So it's always nice to see, local businesses chipping in as well. Maybe check them out if you want to get a haircut. But yes, Movember was very successful this year, I think. Probably the best mustache I've grown in a long time. And yeah, Movember.
Yeah, and every little bit helps. And actually, you might notice Anthony still has his mustache.
I do.
And it's December 1st. And we are going to change that tonight, folks. So I'm going to actually shave Anthony's mustache right now, something that nobody wants to see, but we're going to do it anyway.
Oh, okay.
This thing works.
Yeah, it
Anthony.
does it. Let's see.
Yeah, so why don't we get a close-up here. I don't know if we have a short enough setting here. It's going to be,
let me lean over the desk a little bit.
We'll call it a wisp of a mustache, folks.
Man.
All right, hold on. You're going to have to turn to me here, Mr. Correa. We're going to do a little, are you ready? Okay, we're going to do this.
So.
All right, it's going to, there you go. Oh, it's going. It's going. The mustache, that looked a little painful. There you go. Okay, first half gone.
Take a look.
Oh my goodness. Can we just keep it like this? No?
I don't think that's
all right. Let's turn here, buddy. I'm going lefty. There we go. And it's almost all gone. This is just the worst. Okay. Almost gone. And give it a little wipe there, Anthony. There we go. The lip is clean, folks. November is over. Yeah, it's looking good. You're looking like a brand new man.
I think you need to work on your barber skills a little bit there, Eddie. But
yeah, I'm not a professional barber, unfortunately, but you look great, Anthony.
I can promise this will be fully clean by Monday. Don't worry,
there
folks.
There you go. And once again, it was a great month collecting those donations. Thank you for everybody who donated. And Anthony, I know your lip might be a little cold and in pain, but why don't you lead us into CKP3?
Well, you don't see that every day. An anchor shaving another anchor's mustache. Another thing you don't see every day is a goalie goal. And it happened last night. So to see who scored it, along with all the top plays from last night's NHL action in tonight's CKP3. We start with another between the legs goal.
Protecting against any rush chances. Bruno got it to Lisa, got it to the front of the net, and McGinn scores. Head is back to the net, and has his first of the year. It's a one-goal game.
Brock McGinn finds that puck and puts it through his legs into the net. The hand-eye on NHL players is unreal. Next, brotherly love in the city of brotherly love.
Not handled by Couturier, and it's big trouble the other way. Luke and Jack moving up. Jack with the puck. Jack to Luke, and the game is over. Luke Hughes wins it in overtime. 2-on-1 to perfection. 4-3 your final. The Devils win it.
Jack Hughes to his younger brother Luke Hughes, who makes no mistake on this OT winner. What an elite duo to have on your team. Finally, goalie goal alert.
They're battling for these loose pucks. Jari, he's going for the empty net. Bouncing towards the goal. He scores! You have witnessed history. Tristan Jarry becomes the first goaltender in Pittsburgh Penguins history to actually score a goal.
Tristan Jarry is the latest goalie to pull off this great accomplishment. Fun fact, the last 3 of these have been on the road, as Jarry's first career goal takes top spot in tonight's CKP3.
Hello from the CKPG Today side. Still Plaid Friday, every Friday on this side of the studio. We like to have fun. Christmas, fun, plaid. What more ridiculous this are you going to put together on a show, and they let it air here on local television. It's great. We like to have fun here. We're going to have more fun to round out the week, including a little Nove Voce performance and a little chat about what's happening at the Knox this weekend, including a great act with some great instruments you should really check out. Do you have a favorite instrument over there? I got to ask you.
I'd have to go with the piano, Mr. Fanshaw. I've been a big fan since I was a little kid. I'd pay pretty good money to see you try to play the piano. Maybe we should plan that for a Today Show segment. But for now, let's get to our festive photo contest, which of course is back. It's going to be going until the 13th of December when we will pick a winner. And tonight's submission is from Mary. Thanks very much, Mary. This is a great one. A baby in a Christmas basket right under the tree, wrapped up, snuggled up, just like a Christmas present. Love this one. This is a very cute picture. Remember, the prizes for the festive photo contest, they're pretty good. A $4,000 gift certificate from the Prince George Airport and Uniglobe Sunburst Travel towards a WestJet nonstop flight and all-inclusive trip to Puerto Vallarta. You'll also get a $1,250 prize pack from all our sponsors. All you got to do is submit your festive photo to our website, ckpgtoday.ca. And that's all for tonight, folks. Thanks so much for joining us as always. Your last look tonight is some of the beautiful decorations at the 30th Annual Festival of Trees. Have yourselves a wonderful night. We did it, folks. It's the weekend. We will see you Monday.